welcome to Little Tipple's YouTube channel. This is the first time I've done a video to camera. This is the first time I've actually spoken about my art, my creation, my photography and my videography. So I hope you find this video useful. If you do, please like and subscribe. I'm planning on doing a few more of these. There will be some that will be behind the scenes, there will be some that will be hints and tips, there will be some that just are like this, my decisions and my thoughts on things I've decided to buy, things I've decided to pick up over the time that I've been doing photography, videography, all those sorts of things. I always did a lot of music photography when I was in university, and then I've just continued on, and recently, sort of through my whiskey blog, which is why it's called Little Tipple, I've then been using photography as part of the whiskey side of things, and it all has combined together. It just seemed easier to actually bring everything together into the Little Tipple brand. Today we're talking about a purchase I bought recently, something that I decided to get to treat myself. Bought myself a Mavic in nice Alpine White. Absolutely love it. I've had it about a month now and going really well with it. The pictures I've got from it, the video I've got from it has been absolutely fantastic. But I assume, like almost everyone out there, the first thing I did before I got it was went through all sorts of YouTube videos and suggestions as to what I should get, and you see all the stuff like get landing gear, get special cases for it, get sunshades for it. The problem is some of the information out there is absolutely fantastic, some of the information out there is slightly less useful, and you've also got to bear in mind what angle the people that are coming at it from, what they're using it for. So I'd gone through all these YouTube videos, and the thing that I decided I did need, coming at it from a videographic and a photographic background, was some filters, because you want to be able to limit the amount of light that's coming in. Something that I'm going to cover in a future video is something called the 180-degree shutter rule, which is when you're filming something, how quick or slow you want the shutter speed to be able to create that cinematic look. So decided I need to get a little filter, and the filters that come on these are these dinky little filters just on the end here. And when I did all my research, the big difference was between polarizing filters or between neutral density filters. Now, coming from a photographic world, I have all these sorts of things for the bigger cameras, so that's a neutral density filter. You can see all it does is it just cuts down the amount of light. You can also get the polarizing filters. This probably isn't going to make a huge amount of difference with this light source, but essentially that's a polarizing filter. That is a dirty polarizing filter. That's a polarizing filter. And the polarizing filter cuts down certain wavelengths of light. So if you're pointing at the sky and you turn it, you can make selected parts of the sky, or you can make parts of the sky darker, you can make clouds stand out more, you can increase contrast. You can also cut out glare, so reflections off bottles, off glass, off water are also cut down. Whereas neutral density filters won't do that. Neutral density filters are literally just a pair of sunglasses, so all it does is just makes things a little bit darker. The polarizing filter is great, and if you're taking pictures in just one direction, it works fantastically well. But the problem is, the joy of this is up in the air. You can spin it in any which direction you want. You can create these amazing, beautiful landscapes. The problem is, if you're moving your camera in relation to where the sky is, the polarizing effect will be different. So on the ground, really straightforwardly, if you've got your camera in front of you, you just take this and you rotate it, and that's all you need to do. The problem is, if this is up in the air 100 yards away, 100 yards up, it's not very simple just to be able to rotate that. It's also, actually, you can't easily rotate it once it's on anyway, so it's almost easier to take it off and put it back on. It's a little bit fiddly. I've got the gimbal protector on there at the moment, and actually that makes life so much easier to put it on. But if you're up in the air and you suddenly realise that the picture isn't quite right, the sky is darker in one area than you want it to be, you can't easily just switch that. Because if you use a neutral density filter, that doesn't happen. So with the neutral density filter on there, you will still, the reasons for getting neutral density filter is it increases the saturation, it lowers the light that's there, it will give you a really beautifully vivid feeling. And you get the same thing from a polarizing filter in certain areas. So I took a video recently. I was down at West Wittering down in Sussex, flew the Mavic up and decided to get a beautiful panning shot of Chichester Harbour. The problem is, you can see from the footage halfway through you get this big dark line across the sky, and that's because at that point it's cutting out a huge amount of light from that sky. it's not even. And so when you do these pans, which you so rarely do, if you're using a handheld camera, you're unlikely to be doing pans, and if you are and you realise it's made a mistake, you can just really easily switch the filter on it. But doing this at a distance, you can't just easily switch up, rotate it. So basically this is just me saying I was stupid and I bought polarizing filters. I'm going to keep the polarizing filters, because if I know that I'm going to be shooting one subject in one direction and not doing big pans, the shots that are set up and selected, if they will benefit from the polarizing filter, I'll continue using that. But I will also be getting a set of just straightforward neutral density filters. But I highly recommend, if you're only going to get one set of filters, if you're looking for which filters to get, neutral density are the way forward. If you've had to think about it and think, okay, I'm going to use my Mavic to do this or that or the other, you buy what is going to work for you, not what is going to work for Dave on the internet. So just make sure you're using your own knowledge as well as the information that the internet is giving you. So I hope that's been helpful. Essentially just a brief guide, not on what to buy, but how to think about what you are going to buy and what you're going to be using it for. So let me know if there's any videos you'd like me to cover in the future. Pop them in the comments below, and like or subscribe if you'd like to. That would be fantastic. And enjoy the rest of your day.